Welcome to Yury Experience, and today I want to talk to you about importance of internet safety. Nowadays it is not that impossible to find a child holding an iPad and searching something all over the internet. Somehow the whole technology and internet finds human beings way earlier than it was my age. Yes, I'm kinda old. Which obviously brings other problems to the table. There were some problems with internet during us growing up, but nowadays the amount of problems is always increasing, and amount of knowledge that people have about internet safety is not increasing. That is why, in my personal opinion, internet safety shall be taught in schools. In my personal opinion, internet safety is something that is very important and that more people need to know about. Independent of age, obviously, but also if it will be taught in schools, then the probability is higher that people will keep this knowledge with them and maybe even bring this knowledge home to their parents, so their parents don't make some mistakes. Let us talk about importance of internet safety. But obviously before we start, I have to tell you that this is Yury Experience, and here I share my various experiences about different topics. I do 2 videos per week, Mondays and Thursdays. If you will enjoy this video, please drop a like. You can also subscribe to the channel. Let us start. I don't really have an ability to prove that internet safety is important. Each safety is important. Everything that makes your life more difficult or brings your life in danger is important to know about, which is why I will not really say internet safety is important because ABC. I will cover a couple of points that are connected to internet safety, and based on them I will say, or I hope you will also think so, internet safety is important. Let's work more around it. Let's find out more about it. We start with the first point, and it is the major point of the video. Internet is there forever, and internet is remaining there forever. What comes in touch with internet will probably be there forever. Even if you will delete something from your social media, from maybe YouTube, from everything and everything and everything. First, we have different companies like Google and Facebook and whatnot who monitor a lot of information that is pretty precise, but which is normally not easy to find for ordinary people. So some hackers or some maybe FBI, CIA or whatnot, they maybe know how to find this whole information about you specifically. But most of us are just part of the statistic. So yes, they have a lot of information about us, but they don't really have the connection that is the person, and that is information about the person. But even if we go away from this idea of big corporations, we also have the idea that a lot of stuff, even it is deleted, nowadays it's a little bit different, but it was not always deleted from the data bank itself. So there is a possibility that you cannot see the information anymore, but that information is still stored somewhere. Again, nowadays there are stricter guidelines in terms of what information is stored about you, what information isn't stored about you, and how the companies have to deal with that information. But overall, if something touches internet, that something remains in the internet forever. You can even sometimes find traces of information. Yes, it is high-level stuff, but there is often a possibility. So, if you don't want to share some specific information, then don't share it. That's kind of the point. If you think that this information is personal, it is your private opinion, it is your private knowledge, it is maybe your private information, where you live, maybe the PIN code of your cards, whatever, maybe where your money lies, maybe where is the key to your door. If you don't want to share that information, don't share that information. Share only that something that you are pretty sure that you are comfortable with, and where you're pretty sure that you will not think in the future, ooh, it is kind of bad thing that I share that information anywhere, somewhere. It's a pity, but you need to think into the future. You shall not think only short term if we are talking about information that is stored on the internet. For example, because cancel culture exists, and that is kind of a thing since a couple of years, to look way back in, for example, Twitter, your like first Twitters that you posted on Twitter like many years ago, and look into them and find some stuff that was, for example, funny at that point but isn't funny anymore nowadays. People whole careers, or however it is called, are destroyed because of that. And it is only one example. Another example could be your childhood information. You can use this childhood information as a secret question for example, your card, from your banking card, in order to change your PIN. And if some other person has that childhood information, then that person can use it in order to use your bank account. It is not a good thing, it is a bad thing. That is why, overall, the main idea, in my personal opinion, if there is some personal information that you have, that you know it is important for you, don't let it touch internet in any way or form. At the very best, don't even type it down on the PC or on the phone which is connected to the internet. Obviously it is slightly over the top, but like in terms of safety, when we are talking about some specific stuff, better safe than sorry. So don't let important information touch the internet. That information will stay there forever, even if you delete it. The second point, and I'm kind of surprised that we still need to talk about it, guidelines, passwords, and what information can be shared where. A lot of people are surprised that actually a lot of organizations are allowed to share a lot of your private information, at least that information that you provided to them. That is when we are talking about guidelines of the site, what information they are allowed to share, what information do they have about you, and what they are allowed to do with it. There is way too much to read if you always read this whole. Download this document for about 10 pages and read about our guidelines. I don't know a single person who does it, although most of us shall actually do it, because if there is saying something like I will be a slave till the end of my life, then it is still liable document. Yes, it will not work, you can always go to the judge and dismiss it, but you will have more stress than you want. And touching the topic of password, don't use same password everywhere. Buy yourself a password manager, or actually use the free one. There are a lot of free opportunities for password managers. Don't use the same password. It is something that is written in the first line of the how to write a good password. Don't use the same for each and every freaking site, because sometimes sites leak information. It is not intentional for them to leak that information, but somehow that information is not only at the site anymore. And then if that information goes to the people who can use that information for bad reasons, they will use your password in order to come, for example, into your Gmail account and then order with help of your Gmail account something over Amazon. Very dumb example, but still they can do it. If you have the same password everywhere, you are basically saying I have one key for everything in my life, and this key is not even that difficult to duplicate. I have one key for my door, I have one key for my car, I can have the same key for my bank account or for my safe, the same key, one key to rule them all. Don't you think that it is not the smartest idea to have only one key, and it would be better to have different various keys and different types of key or closing mechanisms? I think so. The third topic is kind of the most relevant for school, if you ask me personally, and it is bullying on social media. And it is a thing, you cannot deny that bullying happens. Sometimes it is not really conscious bullying, when some trolls come to your page and write some shit down, but sometimes there is even a conscious bullying, some group of people who gather around and say you are a bad person for prolonged period of time. And the difficulty is to find out how to deal with it, how to manage your life with it. And I don't have answers for that, just to be clear. I don't have an answer how to deal with bullying in both real life and in over internet. But that is something that we could teach future generations, so they know how to deal with it. They know that some opinions are there to be ignored. They know that they can turn their phone down, or they can just delete comments, or they can create a new account, destroy old one and don't share this account, or make it private or whatnot. There are a lot of opportunities in order to decrease the amount of people who can contact you online. But you need to know about them. You need to be conscious about them. Some of them are pretty clear. Again, creating a new account. It's not something difficult, but you need to be conscious of this possibility. Yes, I will need to upload my photos again, but that's pretty much it. It's not the end of the world and not the end of the life, although some people would consider that being so. In the end, I will just tell you, please be conscious of internet safety. Please be conscious of what information you share over internet. And this whole idea of encrypted information and not encrypted information, although it is kinda true and you can trust it to a degree, please still be careful, because each information that can be encrypted can be also decrypted if you know the way how to do it. And it sometimes people find the ways, I would call it like that. So please, if you can avoid sharing personal important information over internet in any possible way, please do it. In my personal opinion, that will make your life safer in now and in the future. Because you never know, maybe you will become a president and then they will find your tweet from many years ago where you say some bullshit. And no, the person couldn't change over the years. So please be careful, be safe. If you have any opinion about the topic, please share it in the comments. You can also subscribe to the channel. You can also, like this video. And except for that, I see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.